There's our first 15. You'll see that Robert Presley and Greg Sacks actually tied for that second spot. Presley got it by the bases. He had more points than did Greg Sacks, and there's our second 15 starters.
And some good names back there in that second group too, Benny. There you see Earnhardt, as we mentioned earlier. He's starting back in 20th position. Rick Mast always runs good on this racetrack. And there are your 4 provisionals at the end. Derek Cope, John Andretti, Michael Waltrip, and Jeff Bodine.
Who runs this racetrack as well as anyone? Jeff Bodine I'm talking about.
We have in-car cameras and off-car cameras, and we have cameras everywhere for this event. Here's the foot cam that will be on Kyle Petty's car. You can be able to see him get on and off the accelerator and on and off the brake. There's the regular in-car camera for Kyle Petty. Here's the suspension cam, and we will be able to see the brake rotors glow when they heat them up during the event. We have several face cams also. There you're taking a look at Michael Waltrip as he gets set to go. And the roof cam on John Andretti's Kmart Little Caesars Pizza Ford. They're drying the track a little bit because of the showers that we had earlier in the day, and we're not quite ready for a green flag, so we'll take another break and be back with more of the Hanes 500. You can turn off the lights, Ralph. Yeah, are you going to play the Earnhardt thing, though? That was my major question. I mean, it's only applicable today. Okay. And then you'll fade to black, and then we'll just come up and say we're racing and we've raced so many laps. Okay, I got you.
Water back there.
Right. See, Mikey, it's amazing, isn't it, how I know everything that you why you do everything. Yeah. Race car. Yahoo!
Yahoo!
Okay.
Too bad they couldn't dump out up there in Bristol and come to this thing right now, wherever they are.
27th round draft.
Yeah, when everything's done anyway, probably. I have a feeling that Labonte just pulled up there to say, we ain't ready yet.
2 laps to go. I think they'll get 1 to go next time.
Okay. Back at Martinsville, 7 drivers and teams went home failing to qualify, including Randy LaJoie, Jeff Burton, Todd Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, Davy Jones, Chuck Bound, and Jay Hedgecock. We are less than a lap from the green flag. The light atop the pace car has gone out. In just a moment, the field will be under the direction of Bobby Labonte. Today's field consists of 19 Fords, 13 Chevys, 4 Pontiacs. We will start this event with 4 provisional starters. Just about ready to go green here at Martinsville and the conclusion of the short track season for at least the spring. We won't be back at a short track after this until Bristol in August 26th to be exact. The field comes down, the green flag is out, and the Hanes 500 is underway at Martinsville.
Bobby Labonte hesitated just a little bit, and Robert Presley took off into the lead.
Oh, and Darrell Waltrip gets in the back of Labonte, and the pole sitter spins. No caution flag, and all the cars are going.
And Robert Presley has just led for the first time in his NASCAR Winston Cup career, and the pole sitter Bobby Labonte is at the very tail of the field as now Darrell Waltrip chases Presley.
There's Earnhardt trying to go, and Rusty Wallace.
Morgan Shepherd is there with Rusty and Dale as they try to move through the traffic. Earnhardt started 20th.
Morgan Shepherd alongside Kenny Schrader, and Earnhardt is going by Wallace on the outside, or trying to. And Earnhardt takes the spot.
Watching from Rusty Wallace's perspective, ahead Earnhardt, Ken Schrader, Morgan Shepherd. Shepherd inside of Labonte. And Earnhardt, he gets, and wow, is into the wall hard, and so is Morgan Shepherd.
And Earnhardt's luck here at the Martinsville Speedway. And of course, a lot of others have bad luck here today, but we pointed out at the top of the show what kind of luck he's had here.
Terry Labonte is against the wall. The yellow flag is out, and Dale Earnhardt has significant damage as he comes down pit road. Rick Mast also has a massive amount of damage to his car and the field, and Earnhardt goes behind the wall.
Straight behind the wall. They don't even stop on pit road. They take it behind the wall and frantically trying to work on the car.
Has not had good luck at Martinsville. He has 11 DNFs at the Speedway, more than at any other facility on the tour.
And not only Earnhardt, but several cars heavily damaged back there. Labonte's car still sitting back there, heavily damaged. The Kellogg Chevrolet, there it is. And we can see damage to the front and rear. Morgan Shepherd's car damaged.
Derek Cope is still sitting on the racetrack.
Jerry Punch has a comment.
As you look at the front of the Goodwrench Chevrolet, the reason Earnhardt knew he had to come behind the wall was oil was pouring out from beneath the hood. Apparently they have ruptured the part of the oil tank. Now, Benny Parsons showed you a couple weeks ago on one of our track that's exactly what they have done to be able to keep the oil tank away from the left front of the car and put it closer as a part of the radiator. Well, that's the part that got hit today, and apparently it has ruptured part of that tank as the crew now trying to peel some of the sheet metal away, the radiator pushed in, and the oil tank apparently ruptured here on the Goodwrench Chevrolet. How about Terry Labonte? Let's check in with John Kernan.
Jerry, I just talked to Gary Deard, his crew chief. They are, as soon as they get that car into the pits, they're going to go to work on it. They have got some major repairs, is what Gary said, so they will be behind the wall for quite a while. Now let's go to the back stretch and Bill Weber.
Well, this crew, the Citgo crew, heavily working on this car, which has severe damage. It starts on the right foot, goes all the way around to the rear of the car damaged back by the fuel cell. They're trying to pull the body away from the right rear tire. In the meantime, Rick Mast's old car is being pushed alongside. It's going behind the wall back here as well. Both these teams have sustained significant damage and will be back here for some time.
Trying to pull the sheet metal away from the tires. There's Rick Mast going behind the wall to get repairs as Labonte's car is taken off the racetrack on a wrecker. Here is the replay.
There we see the cars went in 3 abreast. Earnhardt on the outside of Labonte. Labonte comes up and touches the 21 in the back. Gets Morgan sideways. When he corrects, he comes back up and forces the 5 car up in the wall, high off the ground. Earnhardt in the back of him. And there we see the 4 car, Sterling Marlin, also involved.
He hit the 1 car of Rick Mast, and then Derek Cope back behind there got involved in it as well.
And Lake Speed also in the action. There we see Morgan go across, hit the 5 car, and bow! Heavy contact with the wall on the Kellogg Chevrolet.
That's Lake Speed in the car number 9 going sideways, and then Derek Cope and in the car number 12, and Dick Trickle in car number 15 coming in there.
And from the Family Channel blimp.
See Earnhardt trying to go up on the outside of Terry Labonte. Labonte, as Benny mentioned, clips Morgan Shepherd, gets him sideways, then he comes back out into Labonte. Labonte's car goes up on top of Shepherd's car. Earnhardt back there, nowhere to go, and then, in fact, nobody had anywhere to go because the track was blocked.
Here's the in-car from John Andretti.
They're right there in front of you, right here in front of you, right here in front of you. Big crash now, right down there in front. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good job.
Boy, that was a good job.
That was a great job.
Yeah.
I thought he had the 4 car head on.
Not so with the 3 car. It's behind the wall. Bill Weber is with Morgan Shepherd.
Well, Morgan, very tough out there. A wild incident. You involved with several other cars. Can you tell us what happened from your point of view?
Well, I really don't know what was going on. I passed Terry going down the front straightaway. We didn't touch or anything. Went through turn 1, and he runs in the back of me, and I would have been okay, but he never would back out. He just kept pushing me and pushed me till he pushed me, turned me straight in the wall, and luckily he got caught up in it too. But, you know, what a shame.
You guys looked like you had a good car. You had been pretty quick. A lot of damage here. Your crew try and get you back out.
The Citgo Thunderbirds tore up pretty bad.
Okay, that's Morgan Shepherd. Not very happy here very early.
Well, the Wood brothers just this weekend had an open house, announced they're building new shops and a new museum up at their shops near Stuart, Virginia. But boy, they're hard at work now trying to get Morgan back in the race after he was involved in that incident. Here's John with Terry Labonte.
Terry Labonte walking toward his cars. They're pulling it down to the truck. Terry, a mess out there. I guess the only way to describe it.
Yeah, it really was. It was my fault. We came off the corner there, and Morgan's car got a little out of shape, and I guess he got out of the throttle a little bit, and I got into the back of him and turned him. It's my fault.
All right, as you can see, Terry, very disappointed as we look at the car. They've got a lot of work to do. Not only sheet metal, but suspension damage in the front end, too.
More replays for you. Let's go to more Michael Waltrip's in-car camera and listen.
Okay, what's in front of you? Up there in the middle of the backstretch. All right, you got it, buddy. You're all right.
Well, he sputtered around, but I don't think he made heavy contact with it.
No, he didn't. That was Terry Smith, his spotter, telling me he's okay.
We'll take a break and be back with more from Martinsville, Virginia. 12 laps are completed.
Trickle got some pretty good damage at 15 car, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I tell you what, Terry got in that wall hard, didn't he?
Sure did.
He sure as the world did.
I'd like to got out of here.
I admire a guy that steps up and said, I made this.
Yeah, I do too.
Yes, sir.
Going green. Boy, Andretti's got a big donut, doesn't he? Okay. Resumes here in Martinsville. Robert Presley is the leader. Darrell Waltrip running second. Greg Sachs is third. Then Mark Martin and Kyle Petty. Several cars are crippled already because of the crash that we had in the opening laps of this race. We're watching Ricky Rudd. Jeff Gordon seems to be on the outside and making progress.
Yes, sir. That is a bold move this early in the race to go up on the outside. And Bobby Hamilton had made the pass and just passed Ricky Rudd the lap before. So Jeff Gordon is definitely on the go.
That is amazing how he just went right by Bobby Labonte on the outside.
That's Bobby Hamilton.
And Bobby Hamilton. Bobby Labonte. Punch me, will you?
Well, you had half of it right. Bobby, yeah. You had the Bobby part right.
You broke my shoulder 2 weeks ago. I should break something. I'll break your nose. That's
right.
Darrell Waltrip chasing down the leader, Robert Presley. Waltrip with more victories than anyone on this racetrack. He has 11, 5 in this race and 6 in the later race. Kyle Petty now sees Jeff Gordon in his rearview mirror. Petty is 5th, Gordon 6th. Let's see if Jeff tries that outside line again. Yesterday during the Slim Jim All-Pro race, we did see a good second groove out there that allowed for a lot of passing, and it appears as if Jeff is going to make that work today.
There probably is as good a second groove on this racetrack, Bob, as there is on any short track that they run on. And that's a little surprising when you consider that the turns are relatively flat. Yeah. Banking is just 12 degrees. I guess the cement they have in the turns here has worked out well in that respect.
Back to Bill Elliott, Brett Bodine, Ken Schrader, and Rusty Wallace. This is 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Rusty runs 14th.
That's inside Rusty Wallace's car, directly behind Ken Schrader. Kenny Schrader, the winner last week in the Super Trucks out in Saugus, California. Quicker right now than Schrader, but just a little bit quicker and getting by. Two different things.
Yeah, you got to be a good bit quicker on this racetrack.
And Dale Earnhardt's GM Goodwrench Chevrolet has moved from behind the wall, and he rejoins the race.
He's waiting right now for the field to go by because he doesn't want to pull out there on the inside lane, the groove of the racetrack, and get in someone's way. So
the point separation was 56 coming into this race. However, Sterling Marlin was also involved somewhat in that accident. There went Sterling by the number 4 car. So he is running all the way back in 28th position.
Dale Earnhardt is 19 laps down to the leader.
And Darrell Waltrip has taken the lead.
And he got in the back of Robert Preston down in turn 1, got Preston just a little bit sideways, took the lead. And Presley has a long time getting the car back in control, drops back to 3rd place.
Greg Sacks got by him also in the car number 40.
Here's how Waltrip got the lead into turn 1.
Goes down in the corner. Looks like Presley might have got a little bit loose to begin with, and then there was some contact maybe.
John Kernan has a report on Sterling Marlin. John?
Bob, the second man in the points, is back out there running. And I just talked to Tony Glover that they've got no extra damage on that car. He was also involved in that accident a little bit earlier. You probably see there's a bungee cord strapped across the hood. They knocked some of the hood pins out. But Tony says they should be all right. That other than that, the car is fine.
We can see that cord that he's talking about going from the front bumper back to the windshield, trying to hold the hood on.
And Derry Cope is all over the racetrack coming off the 4th corner.
Yeah, he really got loose there. Derry went 4 laps down. He had to repair damage on his straight arrow car from that accident early in the race.
So Marlin is the last car on the lead lap running in 28. Dick Trickle was also involved in that crash. He is just ahead. And Jerry has an update on Presley.
A moment ago, Robert Presley radioed his brother Charlie Presley, the crew chief, and said, I don't know what happened to the car. Just jumped out from under me like I hit a patch of oil or something on the racetrack. And I don't think the car got loose, and it just slipped abruptly without any warning at all. But the car's really running okay right now.
Mark Martin, however, is catching up with him. And here is Jeff Gordon once again using that upper groove to try to pass Kyle Petty.
That's a tough task, but he gets a good grip that time off the corner. But Kyle goes in the corner a little bit stronger than does the 24 car.
This is the battle for 5th position. I think Jeff might have him.
Well, just right on in there again. The driver on the inside has to cooperate some for that driver on the outside to be able to make that pass. Because if Kyle wanted to really run it on in there hard, he could. But he's giving him the racing room out there that he needs.
Kyle doing a great job of trying to keep Jeff behind him, but now Gordon does go into 5th position. By the way, Dale Earnhardt lost 20 laps. He is 20 laps down. He lost 19 for repairs and has been passed by the leader, Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell Waltrip has just taken off. He has left him once he got into the lead.
Here's Rusty going to the inside, getting up on the curb, trying to take the spot away from Schrader.
There's about a 6-inch curve on the inside of the corner here at Martinsville, and you saw Rusty Wallace put that left front on that curve. The car jump up in the air. Sometimes it will knock the front end out of alignment doing that.
It definitely can knock the toe end off. Morgan Shepherd about ready to come back out into the battle. Morgan's going to be about 30 laps behind.
And Robert Presley goes on the inside of Sachs, trying to take spot away. And here comes 24 up on the outside. There's Jeff Gordon on the outside of Mark Martin and takes that spot away.
Boy, he has got a car that's working up there and taking advantage of every situation that comes along. Look at that. He drives right up there on the outside of him.
He's trying to take 3rd away from Robert Presley. Greg Sachs is 2nd. Presley 3rd. Here comes Gordon. He may pass both of them here in the corner.
Wow.
That is impressive.
And Jeff Gordon has taken over the 2nd spot.
Morgan Shepherd made a lap, came back in. We're inside Kyle Petty's car now. He is behind.
Oh! Looks like he and the 6 car got together down there. Maybe I was wrong. Sometimes the cameras can be deceiving.
Well, they run close here, like I said.
You see Mark up on the outside of Preston now, trying to go by on the outside. The 24, Jeff Gordon showed them they could do it, so they're trying it. And now Preston said, well, I think I'll try it on the outside.
Yeah, I think maybe the handle's gone away a little bit on Greg Sachs' car, so he's slowing down going into the corners, and that gives him the opportunity to jump up there on the outside.
Presley to 3rd, Martin to 4th, Sachs back to 5th. Bobby Hamilton moves alongside, or tries to move alongside of Bobby Hamilton, or rather Greg Sachs. Now we see Rusty Wallace and Ken Schrader continuing to battle side by side.
And Rusty finally is able to get by Schrader.
That's for 12th position. Darrell Waltrip leads this race. Jeff Gordon leader, Darrell Waltrip, go down the backstretch. He has about a half a straightaway advantage on second place, Jeff Gordon. We'll be back with more of our coverage from Martinsville, Virginia Speedway and the Hanes 500, where Darrell Waltrip is the leader right after this.
Looks like the brakes are going away in the 40 car.
Sawyer's in the top 10.
He's got some pretty heavy. He's got some damage to the right front. He's pretty confident.
Okay. Welcome back to ESPN Speed World coverage of the Hanes 500 from Martinsville. Darrell Waltrip, who has won 11 times, taken 8 poles, has finished in the top 5 26 times out of 40 races here at Martinsville is the leader, and there is second place, Jeff Gordon, and there is the interval between the two. Gordon has closed in a little bit, but Darrell is doing a good job of staying out there ahead. John Andretti off the pace. He's been in for a pit stop and is running very slowly.
Looks like the brakes are gone on the 37 car. There's some smoke. There we see on the top of the 37 car. There's some smoke in the right front section of the car, and he's going behind the wall.
This is Mark Martin's suspension cams. Look at the heat generated by the brakes.
That is the brake rotor, the red. You see it's the brake rotor as he goes in the corner, applies the brake. It just turns it cherry red.
And folks, we have just run 50 laps. That's just 1/10 of this race.
That's right.
It's amazing how much the sidewall of that tire flops around. Look at the sidewall of that tire, how far it pulls away from the wheel. See down the straightaway? Has goes in against the wheel. Now when he goes to the corner, watch this sidewall of the tire go in. Wow.
That is amazing.
It's amazing how much that tire is working.
Ted Musgrave and Kenny Wallace are battling for 13th position.
Ted Musgrave, the Family Channel car, in practice here Friday morning, everyone thought was going to win the pole. He was about a 10th of a second faster than anyone. He went out qualified, ended up 32nd.
That just shows you how close they are. Only 2600ths of a second separating first and 32nd.
See that Musgrave has caught Kenny Schrader, and Rusty Wallace passed Schrader just a few laps ago and was driven away.
Rusty Wallace has caught Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd is running in the 8th position.
There comes Musgrave on the inside of Schrader.
Here's a Napa field summary where the cars were running last lap. You can see Rusty has moved up to 9th. lap. Dale Earnhardt is 20 laps down at the moment. The only car officially out of the race is Terry Labonte, who went into the backstretch wall very hard in the early crash. Schrader and Musgrave still having a battle out there.
And Musgrave finally is able to get by Schrader. So here comes Kenny Wallace. And Schrader moves over, blocks the spot, and says, look, you guys want to pass? Going the other way.
Brett Bodine is going to try it up high. And the 7 cars in trouble.
Yes, he is. Jeff Bodine slowed down the back straightaway as goes behind the wall.
And here's a battle that Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty. Kyle's car has been awfully loose coming off of the corners. He broke loose and beat Jarrett that time, but his car has been very, very loose coming off the turns.
This is the battle for 6th position. Jarrett to the inside of Kyle. They go down the backstretch, wheel to wheel and door handle to door handle. And they remain that way into the corner.
And Rusty Wallace is right behind them. He has come all the way up and caught them.
And as Kyle Petty came off that second corner last time, you can see exactly what Ned Jarrett was talking about. As his car slipped in the back end, and Jarrett can't make the pass.
No, he couldn't get the traction down on the inside that he needed. Now Kyle's moved up the racetrack. He might have found himself something up there. He said, hey, I held him off up here. Maybe I ought to run up here in this position. Rusty's going to try to figure him away to get around both of them.
Riding with Rusty Wallace.
You don't see that groove that Kyle Petty is running many times here in Martinsville. Rusty Wallace pulls up on the outside of Jarrett. Jarrett pulls up on the inside of Petty.
Boy, Kyle has got some power out that straightaway. That Pontiac goes at the straightaway.
Rusty had to get off the throttle. Well, you see him throw up his hand to Ricky Rudd and say, look, don't come on here. I'm going to back off a little bit.
Let these guys go at it.
Yeah.
See what's going to happen here.
Now Jarrett with another attempt into the 3rd turn. Maybe he may have it this time. Yes, he does.
He had to work for that position, didn't he?
Sure did. Jarrett moves to 6th, Petty 7th. Here comes Rusty Wallace and then Ricky Rudd.
And we're told that Jeff Bodine did lose an engine in the Exide battery Ford.
And the bad luck for Jeff Bodine continues, and you can see that they have a little bit of a flame at the right rear of that car.
That's where the gear is. Looks like he lost a gear in that car.
Rusty has passed Kyle. Now Ricky Rudd will try to. The 9-car breaks of Lake Speed is a lap down in 27th.
Blake is running good. He's running very good.
And Bill Elliott and Brett Bodine are having a race for 14th.
Bill Elliott racing the car he drove for 3 years, the 11 car, Junior Johnson and Associates. Elliott, of course, now with his own team.
Jeremy Mayfield is also involved in this little tussle.
Jeremy Mayfield has a new crew chief this week. Tony Furr has left the Joe Nemechek team, gone to work with Phil Yarborough Motorsports, and Jeremy Mayfield tells me he is just delighted to have Tony over there. Here we see Nemechek, the 87 car that Tony Furr left. We're talking about the Burger King car.
And guys, Darrell Waltrip was just about to put a lap on the pole sitter. Of course, Bobby Labonte got spun out early there and just had bad track position, but now about to go a lap down.
Labonte is 24th and is now a lap down to the field. The next car that will go a lap down is Steve Grissom there in car number 29. We'll be back with more from the Haynes 500. In just a moment, Darrell Waltrip leads Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin.
The 7.
All right.
Well, DW looks like the DW of old, don't he?
Yeah, he does.
Gordon's catching him all along, but still, Darrell's really going good.
Ooh. '26 car cut across the number that thing. Yeah, this time he's gonna be spun out.
DW's got some oomph under the hood.
I'm telling you.
Darrell Waltrip has just dispensed with a bunch of traffic, remains in the lead. However, his advantage over Jeff Gordon is now, well, what, about 25 car lengths or so. He's got 2 cars between himself and Jeff Gordon.
That's the biggest advantage that Darrell Waltrip has right now is those 2 cars, because Jeff Gordon has got to get by. That's Bud Strickland in the Quaker State car. First ride for him in this car. And also Mike Wallace, and some contact. Wallace goes around, and Craven runs in the back of him. Also Dave Marcus Pence. And we see
Mark Martin got stopped. He got stopped there, but don't think he hit anything.
And the caution flag is out.
Wallace is going again. Dave Marcus is trying to get his car headed in the right direction. There's damage, of course, to the rear of the Heilig Myers Ford. And to the front.
And to the front as well, yes.
Let's take a look at it again.
Bud Strickland once again in the 26 car just makes contact with the 90 car. Around goes Mike Wallace. Jeff Gordon to the outside. Here comes Craven along. He hits the 90, knocks off the rear bumper, and Mark Martin, as Ned said, he just stopped. I guess Greg Sachs probably stopped as well. And we see Dave Marcus spun out over there. I don't think he hit anything, though.
Okay, the leaders will be coming into the pits.
Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Gordon are in. Here comes Bobby Hamilton, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Robert Presley, Dale Jarrett, Ricky Rudd, Kyle Petty, and the others who are on the lead lap. Work being done on the right side now. The Western Auto Chevrolet. Emphasis switches to the left side as Jeff Gordon is down from the jacks. He's moving. Let's see if
Darrell Waltrip's going to beat him out.
just by a little bit. Rusty is finished with his pit stop. He's moving. So is Jarrett. So the caution flies once again over Martinsville Speedway. And we'll have more of our coverage of the Hanes 500 in a moment. Okay. This is our second caution. Second.
There wasn't a caution when the 18 car. We didn't have a replay on that 18 getting bumped either, did we? I said he got made contact with the 17. Do you think that's right, Ned? Did we have a did we ever have a replay?
I don't know if we've had a replay on it or not.
Did we show that 3 angles? Did he get touched, you think, Mike? Did he get touched?
I wasn't looking at it, Vinny, so I don't know.
He wasn't? He just lost it?
No. We're talking about early.
18 on the lead lap.
The 18 car on the first lap.
Oh.
Did we ever show a replay of that?
I don't think so. No.
I said there was contact between the 17 and 18. I just wonder if that was correct.
Well, Ted Musgrave made a good pit stop on the backstretch. I'm at 5th place.
Yeah, didn't he? Wow, he beat Rusty's bunch out. One to go.
Okay. We now welcome you live to Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, where the Haynes 500 is less than 100 laps old. 90 laps have been completed. You saw the major incident in the opening laps of this race. Now we are live, where Darrell Waltrip continues to lead the race. There are 17 cars, as you can see, on the lead lap. We'll be giving you all the other things that have occurred in the last few laps in just a moment. Dale Earnhardt back in 31st position, 20 laps down.
You saw Bobby Labonte there a lap down. He was our pole sitter here in the Interstate Battery car. Here we are on the first lap. And it looked like that Darrell Waltrip in the 17 might have made just slight contact with the 18. Around goes Bobby Labonte. But he was able to get the car going again. No caution flag.
And we had another incident not too long ago. Hut Strickland and Mike Wallace.
They get together, touch just a little bit. Wallace spins around, and then here comes the field. 41 car gets by. Greg Sachs goes up there and stops. Mark Martin comes up there and stops, but it did bring out the caution. Dave Marcus spun around as well.
There have only been 2 cautions. That incident there on the first lap with Bobby Labonte, the spin did not cause a caution. You have seen the 2 causes of the cautions that we have had here today. Now let's update some people. Dr. Jerry Punch first.
Bob, when we began today, this was a manicured nose of a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Doesn't look very manicured right now. Earnhardt's front grille all shoved in. And what caused the problem? Well, we removed some of the headlight covers, part of the composite front end, which still says Monte Carlo. Behind that, some of the wire mesh and some of the sheet metal. And we finally get down to this baby right here. That's the oil cooler. That was what was shoved up beneath the radiator and ruptured, and that's what cost him some 20 laps in the pits. He is now in 31st position with a new oil cooler and, of course, some damage on the front end. Back upstairs.
He is 20 laps down. Dale Earnhardt in 31st position. Rick Mast is also out of the race. At least he is pulled behind the wall. Bill Weber, what's the problem there?
Well, Rick Mast is climbing back into the Skoal Ford. He was involved in that early incident we saw. He's climbing back into his car, but he's many, many laps down. Of course, heartbreak for Morgan Shepherd. This is their local track, the team from Stuart, Virginia. He is more than 40 laps down. He has a Simcoe Ford back on the track. And John Andretti had brake problems in final practice yesterday. Almost identical problems here in the early laps today. John Andretti is more than 30 laps down. Let's go to John Andretti.
Well, Terry Labonte also involved in that incident with Dale Earnhardt earlier. Unlike Earnhardt, they were unable to get the car repaired. They are out of it. Sterling Marlin was also involved in some minor damage to his car. He's got a bungee cord over the hood. He is now running in 17th place last time. Car very, very loose. They put in 3 rounds of fight, but Sterling is 1 lap down. Let's go down to Jerry Punches with Jeff Bodine, who has also dropped out of the race.
And a tough afternoon for Jeff Bodine. Jeff, sorry to see you out of it. What happened?
It looked like we burned a bearing out and then broke a rod. Running really good. You know, I started out, put myself in a real hole here in Martinsville. Didn't qualify good, started last. But, you know, the car was working really good. We were making progress and moving to the front. Thought we were going to have a good day, but it all went up in smoke when the rod broke. But, you know, races is important. We want to win these races. But you know what happened today here in the garage area is even more important. My crew, I had a birthday Tuesday, turned another year older. Maybe that's what happened, I don't know. But anyway, my crew had a birthday party for me here this morning, and we had a cake and a lot of food, decorated a transporter, really had a great time. And that's what makes me feel good. I'm smiling right now because I'm thinking about how much these people care about me, their driver, their corner, and their friends. So there'll be more races, but I tell you what, there are more people like I've got right here that work on this crew. So I want to thank all of them. Barry's back home. He didn't make the birthday party. You missed a good party, Barry. I love you.
What a family here in NASCAR, guys.
Jeff Bodine out of the race. Terry Labonte's DNF today is a streak of 16 consecutive races that he has been running at the finish. We focus on first and second. It remains Darrell Waltrip by just a tiny bit over Jeff Gordon.
Looks like old DW of old, doesn't it?
He's had 40 starts here at this racetrack, has won 11 times, has a pole position, and has finished in the top 5 26 times. It does look like the Darrell Waltrip of old.
He's won over 25% of his races here at Martinsville, and anywhere that's a great percentage.
And normally he does that by just sitting back in the top 10 somewhere, all, you know, just running all day long, staying out of trouble, and then the last 100 laps or so makes his move. Today, he's running up there and dominating the race. Here's a man that's on the move.
That is Rusty Wallace, and he has moved all the way up to 3rd position.
I guess Darrell Waltrip, that's one reason he's running so hard, because they told him that Rusty Wallace is on the move.
He started 15th and now is up to 3rd.
Our 4th place car this afternoon is the 6th car, Mark Martin of Valvoline Ford. There he is.
Mark dodged a bullet just a few minutes ago. stopped before he made contact with the car that had spun in front of him, but he is okay running fourth.
And the car in fifth place is the car number 16, who is Mark Martin's teammate, Ted Musgrave, Family Channel Ford. Hitting on the backstretch, made an awfully good pit stop during that caution.
Musgrave started 32nd. He was the slowest qualifier to get in. At lap 27, he was 18th. And as you can see, he has moved steadily up to 5th position.
Next go ahead, Benny.
Kyle Petty, the Coors Silver Bullet, is on the lead lap. He's currently running in what? Sixth spot. Kyle was sick last week at North Wilkes 2 weeks ago, but as cool as it is today, I think Kyle can finish the race at Martinsville, no problem.
This is his in-car camera being carried in the Coors Light Racing Pontiac. Notice the tack over there on the far left, the RPMs down to what, about 4,500, Benny, and then up to, wow, almost 9,000.
Almost 9,000 RPMs.
That's why he's got that bump up the straightaway.
That's right. Here's a little bit more clear view of that. There you can see up to about 8,500 RPM.
And you watch, he's braking with his left foot, hitting the throttle with his right foot.
I believe his RPMs are a little bit higher on the backstretch. We'll see here if he does go up there a little bit higher. Well, no,
I think about 8,500 as high as our chart goes, and he's taking that.
His dad used to brake with his right foot. He would lift off the throttle and use the right foot to brake. But Kyle, like most current drivers, new drivers, is using his left foot. I know I always use my left foot.
Did you really?
Not saying I'm young or anything, but I always.
For sure.
That must have started about the time that you were coming along.
Yeah.
Because I know I, like Richard, brake with my right foot all the time. That's just the way we did it back then. And you guys came along and told us better.
Here is Robert Presley running behind Ken Schrader. Presley started the race in 2nd position and led the opening laps. This is for 10th position.
Schrader 10th spot. Some of that magic they had. Was it 1991 that Harry Gant won the race in that car when he crashed over turn 3? And I said, unfortunately, he wasn't going to win.
You always keep reminding yourself of that. I don't do that, but
that was very impressive that day. And Robert Presley has a good run going today.
Rick Mast is back on the racetrack, by the way. We told you, in fact, we showed you that he was behind the wall for a while, but he's back out on the track. Meanwhile, the 26 car, the Quaker State Ford, owned by Kenny Bernstein, driven by Hut Strickland, goes behind the wall. And this battle continues to rage on, but Ken Schrader is able to maintain 10th position, keeping Robert Presley back in 11th. And in 12th spot is Greg Sachs. There is the leader, and you can see that his lead over Jeff Gordon has widened just a little bit. Rusty Wallace is running 3rd. Mark Martin is 4th, and Ted Musgrave 5th after 117 laps of the Haynes 500.
Boy, Rusty is coming on.
Don't give credit to us. You're the one that
I said
did
Rusty is coming on.
Let's see. Yeah, he sure is.
Sorry there, Bob. So
that's okay. I'd rather stand, but I want to get down here and read this. updated on where everyone is running in the Haynes 500 here in Martinsville and their Napa Field summary. We're riding on top of Mark Martin's car as he runs in 4th position. Ahead is Sterling Marlin, who is a lap down in 16th, as you see. Now 17th, sorry.
15 cars are on the lead lap.
The guy on the move is Rusty Wallace. He has caught Jeff Gordon. Can he take second spot? Easily.
Yeah, no problem.
With ease. Rusty Wallace and Miller, genuine draft Ford. So we talked about at the top of the show, Ned. He's won the last 2 races here, and he certainly has that combination. Then we see Bobby Hamilton, the STP Pontiac. There's Ricky Rudd for 7th spot. Move Rudd back to 8th. And I'm sure Richard Petty is in the hospital today watching this on TV. And Richard, we're all thinking of you and wish you the best. He had surgery last Monday, I guess it was, or Tuesday.
My brother-in-law Malcolm Benton is in under the weather in Colorado. We want to wish him the best.
And my brother Keith had a major operation this week as well in the hospital recuperating in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And it looks like John Andretti's not been able to use his brakes the way he ought to. Well, the corner and the car drifted up. Like he didn't have. Well, that time he stayed on the bottom of the racetrack like the brakes were working okay.
Andretti's like 35 laps down. He went behind the wall for quite a while.
He caused all the brake problems. Right.
There is Rusty Wallace getting around a lap car of Elton Sawyer. Elton gave this car a good run during qualifying.
In his very first Winston Cup race ever, Elton Sawyer qualified 9th. He now is currently running 24th spot as Jeff Gordon goes by.
Jeff Gordon going to the outside now of Morgan Shepherd, involved in that early lap crash that you saw. His 3rd consecutive win here at Martinsville. He won both races last year. He's won the last 3 out of 4 here. And there is the leader, Darrell Waltrip. Back now to the Roush cars, Mark Martin and Ted Musgrave, who are 4th and 5th.
And Ted Musgrave has caught Mark Martin.
And a spin involving Mike Wallace and Michael Waltrip. The caution is out for the 3rd time today. Waltrip comes down pit road, however, does not stop. Keeps right on going. And the pace car will pick up the field for the 3rd time.
And Michael Waltrip did beat his brother Darrell back to the line, stayed safe, going a lap down, another lap down.
Right, he's already 1 lap down.
Darrell Waltrip had led only 2 laps this year prior to today, and he has led 105 of the first 130.
The 24 car, Jeff Gordon, currently in 3rd spot, has led every race this year.
And the leaders come in for pit stops, all except Ted Musgrave. He chose not to come.
No, he's pitting on the backstretch.
Okay. Here's John Kernan.
Rusty Wallace is in a 4-tire change. They're going to take a round to find out as Todd Parrott makes the move in that right rear. Right side's already on the left side. Let's go down. Jerry Punch.
They have no planned chassis adjustments at all in the Western Auto Chevrolet. Right side tires already going on. Left side tires going on. As Rusty is now 17.9, and here is Darrell Waltrip down 19 even as they will head back to turn 1 at 22.7 for the car number 24 of Jeff Gordon.
So and there's no right rear on Ricky Rudd's car.
Yeah, a tough break for him. I don't know what happened there, but somebody didn't get the wheel back on. They had a miscommunication of some sort. Tough break for Ricky Rudd.
And we can see they have to lift the car up to get the jack under it, and he will go a lap down. Rudd is a lap down now.
Ricky Rudd was running in 8th position, but now because of the mix-up on pit road goes a lap down. Under our 3rd caution here at Martinsville. We'll be back with more live coverage in a moment. Can't say live now, can I?
Yeah.
We are live and in color.
Am I getting my arms out here in you guys' way?
Uh-oh. Well,
My
sometimes.
knee-
Yeah. Michael Waltrip.
95, leader of 70. Okay, caution's out. Caution's out. Leader's coming right behind you there, right behind you.
Still going pretty
Hey,
fast
leader's
down
right
pit
behind
road,
you.
though.
Your brother.
Seems like he broke the speed limit.
Good job.
Okay.
The penalties go to the rear of the longest line.
Too soon. I don't know, Neil, but you're clipping every beginning of your words. Thank you. We are back at Martinsville. Take a look and a listen here at Michael Waltrip.
95, leader of 70. Okay, caution's out. Caution's out. Leader's coming right behind you there, right behind you.
Well, he was going pretty fast down pit road back there. He stayed on the lead lap, however. Now we are back to green.
And Ricky Rudd, we saw the trouble he had in the pits. He's trying as hard as he can to get that lap back, but he could not do it.
And while we were watching the break, while we were in break, we had an incident over in the second corner, and this is how that occurred.
There we see the 11 car, and Nemechek makes some contact. That's Brent Bodine. No, I'm sorry, that was 31 car. Nemechek looks like just spun by himself, did he, Neil?
The cars were so bunched up and so close together, it was really hard to tell. Maybe there was some beating and banging back there in that area.
Now we focus on live action, and Rusty Wallace is about to take the lead from Darrell Waltrip.
And he does it. Rusty Wallace has led the Haynes 500. You see Jeff Gordon back in fifth spot right now. Had a little bit of a slow pit stop, about 2 or 3 seconds slow, and it cost him about 3 spots. 2 spots.
And once again, Ted Musgrave hitting on the backstretch had another great pit stop. He's in 4th position.
Jerry Punch has a report on what happened down there in the pit stop with Ricky Rudd.
You saw Ricky Rudd's right rear tire come off when he tried to leave the pit. The problem was, once again, a lug nut stuck inside the socket on the right rear air gun. Now, Keith Kolsbeck, who changed the right rear tire, took the 5th lug nut off. And so this is the one that got stuck. He couldn't put any back on. He ran around the car to get another lug wrench, and by that time, they had dropped the jack, and Ricky was starting to leave with no right rear tire. That cost him a lap.
And he has been unable to get it back. There you see 1st, 2nd, and 3rd now. It's Wallace, Waltrip, and Martin.
And Mark Martin is running just a little bit faster than he has been before.
Brent Bodine, an unscheduled pit stop for him in the Lowe's Ford in the pits. Him that mix up on the backstretch, Benny. I believe he got a fender knocked in against the tire.
Yeah, we saw him just a moment ago make some contact with Ward Burton in the Hardy Chevrolet and evidently knocked the fender in on the tire.
And Brett was one of those 14 drivers that was on the lead lap.
But not anymore.
Now there will only be 13.
Rusty Wallace got by Darrell Waltrip, but he's certainly not driving away. DW in the Western Auto Chevrolet having a great run today.
Wallace's last 5 finishes here at Martinsville, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and we see some, I'm not even going to say it, on the front glass of our booth.
Just a couple of drops.
Not quite sunshine.
We can see it on the lens of the camera on top of Mark Martin's car.
Rained all morning long, delayed the start of the race. You can see some bright skies in the distance, but right over the racetrack, a little bit of moisture is falling. Not enough, however, to cause a caution.
No, it's certainly not enough moisture at this time. Never see Earnhardt in front of Rusty Wallace. About to go one more lap down. Right now, Earnhardt is 21 laps down in 30th spot.
We're on lap 148. We need 100, and we're now on 149. We need 101 laps to make it an official race.
In NASCAR racing, you're right. If you get halfway, they do consider that an official race. Lap 251 would be a race. There we see Earnhardt, the Goodrich Chevrolet, going another lap down to the leaders. Heavy damage to the front of the Goodrich Chevrolet.
All he can do is just sit there and ride, make laps, and hope a lot of drivers fall out of the race.
Exactly.
Jerry has more on Rusty Wallace.
I spoke with Rusty this morning. He said, you know, a lot of young drivers don't understand about short track racing. He said the key in a short track is not how deep you drive the car in the turn, it's who gets on the gas first. We put a computer in our car and look at the throttle response. He said, when I back off the throttle just past the start-finish line, I'm going to be the very first one back in the gas in the corner. He said, if you watch Darrell Waltrip and people who have been successful in the short tracks, they're the ones who do it that way. Back off early and jump in the throttle back in the middle of the corner. So if you try to drive the car deep in the turn, all you're going to do is burn the brakes and the tires off the car.
That's a very good point, Jerry. It's so true, and Darrell Waltrip has certainly learned that well over the years.
And something I need to point out, Rusty was talking about when he tested and he put the computer in the car, because under NASCAR rules, they can't have computers in the cars now during the race, or he tested, or practice, I should, in qualifying.
Jeff Gordon has dropped back to 5th position. There you see Ted Musgrave in 4th spot.
Now Gordon has caught up to Musgrave, who isn't too far behind the 3rd place car, Mark Martin.
Jeff Gordon in that 24 car, the DuPont Automotive Finisher Chevrolet, has been phenomenal this year. Up until this race, it led about 40% of all the laps run in 1995.
What we saw on the left of our screen there, coming off turn 2, Darrell Waltrip is working on Rusty Wallace. He sees those raindrops. He said, I won't back out front here, although, as you said, we're almost 100 laps away from halfway, so it wouldn't be a race, but he is working on it.
He took a look on the inside of Rusty Wallace that time, going down in turn 1.
Does the same thing in the turn, but makes no effort to take the lead.
That was not an attempt to pass there. That was just to get out of the rearview mirror on Rusty Wallace's car. Just worry Rusty a little bit.
A little sight.
Oh, contact.
He worried him pretty good, but Darrell backed all the way off of it. Let him get straightened out. He might even lose 2nd place.
Oh, no, he's going to hold off Mark Martin and Ted Musgrave. But it sure has closed up 1 through 5.
Tell you what, that was a nice move by Darrell Waltrip. Back off and let Rusty get the car back under control.
see Darrell runs up, taps him just a little bit. That's a critical point in the turn. Got him sideways, and we see Rusty's hand come out the window there. He was motioning Darrell to come on by. He thought Darrell was coming up there, but he didn't know that he driven off and left him because Darrell had backed off.
All right, there's 3, 4, and 5. Martin, Musgrave, and Gordon. Up front, it is Darrell Waltrip second, and the leader of the race, Rusty Wallace. We're not going to be racing much longer, I guarantee you that. This is raining pretty darn hard.
DW got him a ride today.
He sure has. What a great race car.
I know. Where's that pool? A pop and a shop, huh? Okay. Overhead shots today of Martinsville Speedway, again being provided by the Family Channel Blimp, currently in the area, part of its 95 nationwide tour dedicated to promoting the power of family by using the blimp to support charitable organizations and being involved in national sporting events. Well, Shop Top is coming up at the end of our telecast here from Martinsville this afternoon, and it will be featuring Dale Earnhardt. Your opportunity to buy some souvenirs and to hear the latest from the Richard Childress shops. Earlier in the race, Dale Earnhardt had a major problem that you can see there at the front of the car. Here's what happened.
Well, Terry Labonte, car number 5, tapped Morgan Shepherd in number 21, sent him sideways. Shepherd came back up into him. Earnhardt had committed to go on the outside, got into the Terry Labonte car, and as you can see, a lot of other cars got involved as well.
And Earnhardt broke the oil cooler on the car. They had to come in the pits, either bypass the oil cooler or put a new one on.
He's 22 laps down in 30th position, and there definitely is rain in the area. People here in the grandstand ahead of us have brought out their rain gear, and you can see that there is rain on the windshield. John Kernan. Well, who should we turn to in this time? John Kernan, our resident meteorologist.
Well, Bob, I'm working on that meteorology thing. One of these days I'm going to get it, but this is the most recent radar images. You can see this light green, light rain. This is the Martinsville Speedway. It's right a few minutes ago, it was on the edge of an opening. Now this morning, this rain has been all around us and it's been tracking this way. That's why we were able to get the race going. But this last bunch has seemingly been pushed toward the southeast. And that could spell bad news for us. We might have some light rain here for a little while. It's out to 50 nautical miles, and it's been moving around 30 miles an hour. So if it does come in, it may be around for over an hour.
Yeah, the fronts have been dancing all around the East Coast. The cold for the warm front rather moved up, and now it looks like the cold front is moving down. So it's raining pretty good, and the caution is out.
It's raining too much now to continue racing. It really was getting very slippery out there.
So and Rusty Wallace and Darrell Waltrip racing back to the line. It will be Rusty.
171 laps completed, and the caution flag comes out on lap 172. So we're still, what, 80-some laps away from the halfway point?
You're right. 79, actually. As the Pontiac safety car pulls out in front of Rusty Wallace.
Rain, rain, go away. It hasn't rained in this area of the country, I understand, for quite a while, and everybody is wanting the rain, but we wish that it would just stay away for at least a couple of more hours, that we could get our race in here this afternoon.
And then we need rain.
Yeah, and then we could have as much rain as we want. Rusty Wallace Darrell Waltrip, Mark Martin, Ted Musgrave, and Jeff Gordon are the top 5 with a rain delay. Okay.
We're going to do
I don't
stick
know. What do
mic?
you want? Give me my glasses out of my coat. My other
We're going to
glasses,
stick mics
if
or,
it's in
or
there.
headsets?
We don't have our coats on. Is that okay? I don't have my tie done. Oh, we look kind of scruffy up here in the booth because we've loosened our ties and taken off our coats. And okay.
How about button the shirt, tie the tie? Comb my hair, both of them. Headsets, right, Neil?
Bob Jenkins.
Bob, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Penny Parsons.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
I do, huh?
Hi, I'm Ned Jarrett.
Hi, Ned. Nice to meet you.
Oh, dear. Yes, we got a spare right down here.
I used to watch you.
You did?
Yep.
Where did you watch me?
Did you use the race?
Oh,
Before you were born.
yeah, that's before you were born.
So I didn't watch you, okay. My dad watched you.
All right.
We got to get camera up Big Blue first. He'll be up here in a minute. He'll have a hard time doing it because everybody's leaving.
He's sure he's going the wrong way on a one-way street.
Neil's the one I watched.
Yeah, right.
You may have watched Benny.
15 seconds.
I'm ready. What are we doing? It is raining again at Martinsville. Enough to bring out the caution and wet down the racetrack. Here's the Autolite Field summary now. As of the rain delay, 13 cars are on the lead lap. But the pole sitter Bobby Labonte is not. He's in 15th position, a lap down.
And you can see the rain hitting the lens of our camera. Kenny Wallace had an unscheduled pit stop for a flat tire. That's one of the reasons he's a couple of laps down. And Earnhardt 22 laps down in 30th spot.
Jeff Bodine and Terry Labonte, the two cars that are out of the race. They brought the jet dryer out, but they're not making a whole lot of progress because it is raining quite hard. It has turned the track at dark gray, which means it's pretty wet.
Well, they're keeping the cars out on the track, circling the track, because the heat and the air off them will have a drying effect. How long they'll continue to do that will depend on how hard it rains.
And you see the crews that put tarps on their pits. There we see the raindrops in the puddles.
Not a real heavy downpour, but again, enough to bring things to a halt with 324 laps to go.
And they're trying to keep their pit area just as dry as they can. So if they go back green flag racing and the car makes a pit stop, they'll be able to get traction when they drop the jack.
And that's a look down the back stretch pits, and you can see they're doing the same thing. Well, it's our first rain delay of the year, and we'll be back in just a moment to Martinsville. That thing down here, aren't we?
Pass me that chair and we get him set up, please.
Where are you from, young lady? By the way, Ralph made it. Where are you from?
Sun Valley, Idaho.
Sun Valley, Idaho.
It's downhill. That's downhill.
Okay.
And 5, 6
Okay.
like this. Basically, what I race is like this.
Expecting 4 people to stand on this?
Well, there's no way we can get everybody in the shot, Neil. We don't have enough casing to stand on.
Car 11.
Okay, he's here. What?
We need to behave today. Need all the
her
friends.
5th consecutive World Cup championship.
Is it Peekaboo?
Uh-huh.
Where you get a weird name like that?
She won a silver medal at Lillehammer. Uh-huh.
Who named you Peekaboo?
My mom and dad. It's an Indian name, means shining waters, and it comes from a town just south of where I live.
Neil has to make
Yes.
a call.
Yeah.
I got her headset right here.
DW General Manager. Nope.
Back at Martinsville, where the umbrellas have come out and the other rain gear. Those are the spotters that are standing up on one of the buildings at the between turns 1 and 2 here at Martinsville. They are the guys that tell their drivers what to do and what's happening out on the racetrack.
Yes, we heard Terry Smith talking to Darrell Waltrip when Michael Waltrip when Michael spun coming off the second corner, telling him to beat his brother back to the line. Speaking of Michael Waltrip, there he is.
And Jerry Punch is with Clyde Booth.
There isn't much refuge for the spotters, but unfortunately here in the pits they are able to put up a few tenths. And Clyde, as team manager for Darrell Waltrip, you guys have got to be tickled with the way the car's been running so far.
Well, we are. You know, it's really been a real good weekend for us all weekend long. You know, we got here, we unloaded off the truck, it was fast, and he's just been real happy with the car. So it's kind of really, I would say, probably the best weekend we've had this year. It's been real fun, you know.
This didn't happen by accident. Actually, you were here 3 days last week testing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and ran hundreds of laps here. What did you find out about the race car?
Well, actually, when we were here for those 3 days, we were really confused at the end of the 3 days. And the fact that we had the onboard acquisition system and that we were able to go home and kind of sort all the information out. We chose a setup that we didn't even try here, but due to the information that we found from the computer, we put that in the car and we came back here with it, and it seemed to work fine.
Well, and apparently whatever the computer said is working, as Darrell Waltrip currently running in second spot. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, it's no dryer back here. Howard Comstock taking shelter under an umbrella. Jack Rouse just back here talking to you. Your team cars are having a good day, especially Teddy had to come from the back of the pack.
Yeah, well, he took off like a rocket ship when the race started, and we made up a lot of positions. Some people had a little bit of trouble. That helped us, but we practiced good here all weekend, and he's really fast, and he's right now.
And when he's come into the pits, some practices paid off for your pit crew.
Yeah, the guys have practiced really hard back at the shop all for the 2 weeks that we were off, and it's really paid off.
Okay, so Ted Musgrave on the move from the back of the pack. Let's go to John Kearney.
Well, it continues to rain out here. In fact, I think I see the red flag in the starter's hands, and I'm standing along with our leaders, crew chief Robin Pemberton. And Robin, what a shame. Rusty looked like he had it all together today.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We made some adjustments the last stop. We're not as good now as we were before the stop, so darn rain, huh?
Yeah, I tell you, you guys stop and you can't touch the cars, but what do you talk about as far as pit strategy when you get the race restarted?
Well, we'll just talk about the chassis and get the things that we can talk about quietly that ordinarily you'd have to talk on the radio, you know, things to do later on in the race if it comes to a short run or something like that. But the way he is here and the way the car's been, we probably won't do anything.
I think I heard where you guys, same setup that Rusty ran here last fall, taking into account the car is about 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah, they take these springs and they lock them in a vault, and then when they come back to Martinsville, they break them back out. So it's been pretty easy for me. We've tried a bunch of different things, but he just happens to like these 4 springs.
Well, the springs that are, well, as good as gold here at Martinsville for Rusty are on the car right now, and then they'll be moved into the vault after they get back home, Bob.
The covers go on, the red flag is out, and we have halted proceedings here at Martinsville because of rain. There are now 183 laps completed. We are not yet to the halfway point, so it's not quite an official race. We'll be back with a special guest in a moment. Because we can only get 2 people on
Three
camera.
at the most.
3 at the most. Well, but see, we don't have. We got to stand on.
Who, me?
My head. You know, it's a shame you couldn't get somebody. It's terrible that.
What? Like a monkey in a cage. Let's go, Ryson. Live at the Martinsville Speedway, where the cars are going back out onto the racetrack. Now they're going to complete many laps here to try to get the track drier than it is right now. It isn't raining, hasn't rained for a while, and hopefully we can get a lot of laps in here before darkness sets in. Let's show you the running order, how they are at the end of 184 laps now. These laps under caution do count.
And we see just 13 cars on the lead lap. That's uncommon for 184 laps into the race. But Bobby Labonte, pole sitter. Sterling Marlin also some accident problems.
And many of them got caught up back there. And Darrell Waltrip was running so fast at early this race, he put a lot of cars down a lap.
Ricky Rudd had that malfunction in the pits.
Dale Earnhardt 22 laps down in 30th position. 2 cars are out of the race, Jeff Bodine and Terry Labonte. Dr. Punts, what's the strategy now with maybe an hour or 2 of darkness, that is light remaining here today?
Bob, a lot of questions being answered down here in some of the different pits. Rusty Wallace had talked to his crew and said, well, you know, hey guys, when the pits are open, which will be about a lap and a half or 2 from right now, we're going to come down and make a pit stop. He said, guys, it has got to be a great pit stop. It may be our last stop of the day. Now, behind me here in the Darrell Waltrip pit, they're trying to make a decision. Do they come? If Rusty comes, they probably will. Or should they stay out? And they are still concerned about some moisture in the area. You know, whether the rains will come back and whether Darrell Waltrip can stay out there possibly and get to halfway and then get possibly a completed race. We'll find out in a few moments. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Well, Doctor, back here on the backstretch, the Family Channel Board of Ted Musgrave can wait and see what those leaders do. I asked Howard Comstock what his choices were. Did he want to go back to racing? Did he want to wait for tomorrow? He said, right now I wish it hadn't rained. But they can wait and see what those front runners do. If the 3 cars in front of them pit, they may stay out on the track, depending on what the weather and what those guys do. We'll have to wait and see.
Back over here on the front stretch, Dale Jarrett running in 7th position, pitted right next to Rusty Wallace. Rusty's guys are ready for him to pit. They were concerned to air pressure in the tires. Of course, they want to get 4 fresh tires on the car. The work continues out trying, as you see Rusty's crew out with towels trying to dry the water from the pit area. Dale Jarrett's crew, they will watch and see what Rusty Wallace does. If Rusty comes in, they might also come in and take on 4 tires.
All right, so a lot of questions being asked down in the pit area, how to play the strategy here with the cars under caution and 188 laps completed.
They're running around here in a pretty good clip, Bob, so it'll have a good drying effect on this track.
These laps are counting now, but they are not under green. We're going to send you back to the Haynes 150 Slim Jim All-Pro race that was held here yesterday. While they are under caution here, when and if they should go green, we will be back. Well, you're going to hit it just right. We're not going to see the end of the All-Pro race, though, are we? Yeah. Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, and the cars are on the track 2 by 2 now. We thought we were going to get a green flag, but nope, the yellow remains out. The track is still just a little bit wet. However, we have had a change in how they're running on the racetrack because NASCAR opened the pits and allowed everybody to come in, and this is how that went.
Here we see the cars coming off turn 4 and down pit road. Rusty Wallace, and look, Ned,
Darrell Waltrip did not come in. He stayed out.
Stayed on the racetrack.
And I believe everybody else on the lead lap did stay out there. I mean, did come into the pits, excepting Darrell.
And we see the 24 car, Jeff Gordon up there working on that car. Rusty Wallace comes around to the left side, and you'll see Bill Elliott coming into the pits. And in front of Rusty Wallace, the 24 car, Jeff Gordon drove back out. He only changed 2 right sides.
Rusty Wallace also in. There is Wallace moving down, but as you can see, Gordon won the race out of pit road. Then came Rusty, then Kyle, Mark, Schrader, and Jarrett.
Musgrave is in front of Mark because he pitted on the back straight and once again had that great pit stop.
So Darrell Waltrip did not come in. He chose to stay out on the racetrack. Benny?
Darrell Waltrip, this is Benny Parsons of ESPN. What's this all about, buddy?
Well, Ben, I don't know. The track's really not good for the guys. You know, it's got 1 lane right now, and that's good for, you know, us. We're out here in the first drive, but I don't know. I feel a little edgy going into first turn here with somebody underneath it.
How come you decide to stay out there? Just taking a gamble?
We'll see how we can go too much further. Darkness is going to set in before too long. Our car's pretty good on those tires. And we just thought we'd rather be in the front and not have to dodge any bullets if we can help it.
Well, good luck to you.
And let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
As you're looking at Dale Earnhardt's Goodwrench Chevrolet, or what's left of that Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Now, Earnhardt has agreed. He told NASCAR he would be the rabbit. He said, hey, I can't hurt this car too much more, I don't think. So he has agreed, and he is some 21 or 2 laps down, being shown in 31st spot. So he's the guy in 30th place, we should say, from scoring right now, that will go and turn it up and see how the track is doing to let the leaders of the cars on the lead lap know exactly if it is safe at race speeds.
So we are still not ready to go racing yet. The track is drying, but it isn't ready for racing conditions at the moment. So we're going to send you back to the finish of yesterday's Haynes 150 All-Pro race in just a moment.
The turns are getting in pretty good shape here, Bob, but the straightaways are what are not drying. There is 0 banking on the straightaways, and so that makes a big difference.
And so Darrell Waltrip now has a lead with Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Kyle Petty, and Ted Musgrave. And Dale Earnhardt is doing the test, as you can see, trying to run at racing speed to see how good the track is. Back to yesterday's Haynes 150 here at Martinsville. Are live at Martinsville. You saw Rick Crawford win here yesterday in a thrilling race, and now the drivers are being given the signal 1 more lap to go, and we are going to be racing. Here's John Kernan.
Jeff Gordon running in second right now, took on only right side tires, but talking with Ray Evernham, they may have a problem with the left front. He thinks they might have a bad spring, or possibly the jack bolt on the left front might have been turning. They noticed a problem in handling before the rain delay.
Well, let's see how things go here. The pace car is off the track. The green flag is waving.
Darrell Waltrip said he didn't want somebody down on the inside of him going into that turn. He took care of that, got right out front there, so there wouldn't be anybody down on the inside of him going into the turn.
Gordon, Wallace, set chase. That's Brett Bodine on the inside. He's a lap down.
14th position.
Rusty Wallace in the 2 car, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford, has been the dominant car all afternoon. On top of Mark Marr's car, this is a 6th place car going by Sterling Marlin, who's a lap down. Back to the lead, Darrell Waltrip, Western Auto Chevrolet, 17, the leader.
He's now led 128 of the first 220 laps.
And Rusty trying to get underneath the 24 car of Jeff Gordon. That's Rusty in the black number 2.
Trying second place away from Jeff, and he may be able to do so here. Gordon gets up high, Rusty to the inside, but you remember how Jeff's car worked so well up high in the race before we had the rain.
But now he only has right side tires that are new. New tires do make a difference here, not as big a difference as they make at most racetracks.
And Kyle Petty's been able to get by Musgrave.
Puts Kyle up to fourth.
Well, I said he was, but he's trying to.
Musgrave trying to come back on the outside. Ooh, and I don't think Kyle knew he was out there.
They bumped. Musgrave bites back on the outside.
Kyle's spotter telling the 16 was on the outside.
Still there. All right, clear.
Now Mark Martin closes up on the back bumper of his team, and these cars getting all jammed up behind Darrell Waltrip. Darrell decided not to stop, did not change tires, and his car just a little bit slower than these other cars. You can see about 15 cars nose to tail.
The 10 car rookie Rudd is a lap down.
Clear low, clear.
Wallace still trying to get by Jeff Gordon. I thought he had it again off the second corner, but Jeff pulled away from him. Waltrip didn't stop. Gordon has 2 fresh tires. Rusty has 4.
I think Rusty has the faster race car, but it's tough to pass on this racetrack.
Under normal conditions, and with the track wet in spots, it's even more difficult.
You know, the second groove is not in bad shape. Bobby Labonte is passing cars on the outside like crazy. He is a lap down, but that second groove is not doing too bad. There he is now, Bobby Labonte. He's gotten back in line, but he just passed Mark Martin on the outside. He passed Ken Schrader on the outside. He passed Sterling Marlin on the outside. Here he is, trying to make another move out there. His car is working good out there.
He's a lap down in 16th.
Here's Dale Jarrett trying to take a position from Ken Schrader.
And those two were racing together before. Contact. They were racing together before we had the red, and they're racing together as we resume. This is the battle for 7th position.
And the 33 car, Robert Press, is still in the lead lap after 229 laps, 230 laps.
Now he's trying to move on the inside of Ken Schrader.
It looks like we're going to get this race in today. I don't know that we'll run 500 laps, but we will have an official race at the end today.
Just 20 more laps to go. That's 231 completed. If we reach 251, that will be a completed race, or at least in terms of legality.
It's Michael Waltrip, the Pennzoil Pontiac, the camera on the roof of his car as he closes up right on the back bumper of Robert Presley.
Rusty still working on Jeff Gordon. Now Rusty looking outside. Nope.
I saw some sparks while that two car going down in the corner.
I thought I saw it off the 28 car just a second. Here's Rusty now. Again challenging. He may have second place this time.
Well, he faked that move on the outside, got a good run, and made it onto the inside.
Didn't see any sparks that time. Rusty is in second, Waltrip leader.
Rusty is wanting to get back to the front.
Rusty has 21 top 5 finishes in his last 22 short track races. Wow.
He has been amazing.
And he's the only driver to post 3 top 5 finishes in the first 3 short track races.
Rusty, as you said, he wants to get to the front, but right now it's imperative that he gets to the front because who knows how long this race is going to last as he closes up right on the back bumper of Darrell Waltrip.
Try it on the outside.
Wow. That was close. Once again on the outside.
Oh, there's some sparks.
And Rusty's car is bottoming on the outside. Here he's on the outside of Darrell. He might have him.
Boy, he got a great run off the second corner, and Rusty Wallace takes the lead. Laps from an official race. So it's Wallace at the front now with Waltrip, Gordon, Kyle Petty, and Ted Musgrave challenging.
And 33 got, well, there, 43 goes by. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Mike.
Same as the leader.
Same as the leader, he said.
Ran up on the curb.
Here's Spark again this time.
Welcome back to the Haynes 500 at Martinsville, Virginia. This is the best battle on the racetrack. Mark Martin to the outside of Kyle Petty in a battle for fifth. Now, Ted Musgrave just took fourth from Kyle, and now Mark goes to fifth. Kyle is back to sixth.
Bobby Labonte coming up there, but he is a lap down.
And there we see the 4 and the 18. Both those cars are a lap down, racing for position. Now the 28 car. Dale Jarrett joins that battle.
He's been trying to get by Sterling Marlin for about 10 laps. He might have him this time. I don't know. He's been running up there. Decided he might have the run he needs this time.
Dale Jarrett can get by these two. He is in front of them position-wise, but having some difficulty getting around him. He is racing with the 42 car, Kyle Petty, fourth position. And we saw just behind that, the 25 car, Ken Schrader, has caught up with him as he battles with the 4 and 18.
And Bobby Hamill is right there also. Here's John Kirker with an update on Kyle Petty.
Bob, as we see Kyle lose a couple of positions out there on the racetrack, he's radioed in and told the crew that the car has gotten very, very loose. So their only hope is either a caution come out, they can come in and tighten it up, or this race goes long enough where they'll have another pit stop to make a chassis adjustment.
Kyle is struggling at the moment. This time around, we reach the halfway point. Here's a battle for second. Waltrip and Gordon. There's the halfway point. $10,000 to Rusty Wallace for leading at the halfway point from Gatorade. And now next time around, it will be an official race.
I don't know if there's 5 or 6 cars that aren't eligible for the Gatorade money. I don't know if Rusty Wallace is one of those or not. If he's not, then Darrell Waltrip would get the $10,000 if he, in fact, is eligible. Some of the guys choose not to run the decals and what have you, but there is a $10,000 award from Gatorade that someone's going to get.
Right.
There goes Jeff Gordon.
To the outside of Darrell. Gets him.
Jeff Gordon running awfully well for just changing 2 tires. Of course, Darrell didn't change any.
And he's running very well, too.
Yes.
Let's take a look now at our Budweiser race recap. Rusty Wallace has been in front 78 of the 249 laps. 5 lead changes, 4 cautions, 67 laps, an average speed of 68.651. And of course, we did have a long rain delay in the middle, and we were late in getting the race started. Wallace has, or rather, Waltrip has led the most laps so far, and Robert Presley has led 25.
And Bobby Hamilton in the 43 car gets by Kenny Schrader. 25 takes that spot away. That was for 8.
That's for the 8th position. Right up in front of them, as we see, well, this is a tight battle here. As those 2 lap cars there.
And Dale Jarrett, as you said, Brent, right in front of those cars, trying to pass Kyle Petty.
We've seen that battle before today.
There they go.
Jarrett to the inside. Kyle says his car is loose.
The Kyle's been fighting that problem all day long. We saw earlier in the race, when the race first started, that Kyle Petty was having some problems getting off the corner, losing it back in.
Now Jarrett moves to 6th.
Kyle Spotter telling him that the 18 cars come up on the inside of him. Be careful going into the corners.
Still there. Still there.
Bobby Labonte, who passed several cars on the outside, but now has got down on the low line.
Clear low, clear.
Now the 25 car on the outside of the 43. 4 position. Schrader trying to take it away from Hamilton.
And there's Robert Presley right in there, too. He's fighting for one of those positions. That is 8th, 9th, and 10th.
If you're hearing a buzz in your TV at home, that's Kyle Petty's radio that's open. We're leaving it open so we can hear the spot. Oh, look at the left front on. Look at the left front on that 18th.
All clear. Clear low.
Look at a rotor on that 18 car, cherry red, as he applies those brakes.
Ted Musgrave is the fastest car on the racetrack. He has moved to 4th and right on Darrell Waltrip's tail.
Yeah, I think those not having fresh tires is hurting Darrell right now. And Ted Musgrave has fresh tires, and he is fast. You look to the outside, then to the inside, nothing there. There's Mark Martin right on the 16th bumper.
Here's Bill Weber with a report on Ted Musgrave.
Well, under that last caution period, before he went to green flag racing, another blisteringly quick pit stop with a 16 car for about 10 laps. This team wanted Ricky Rudd and Brent Bodine to move over. They appealed to NASCAR. They said, we're faster than these guys. We might be the fastest car on the track. Finally, the 10 and the 11 got out of the way, and here comes Ted.
If he is not the fastest on the track, he's very close. He's going to try the outside now.
Got him a run there coming off of that turn. Darrell Spotter, I'm sure, told him that, hey, he's got a nose up there because Darrell would have went out and wrecked both of them coming off of that turn. So now he dives deep into turn 3. He's going to get the position. And here comes Mark Martin. He'll move up there and do the same thing.
So Darrell Waltrip continues to lose positions.
As Darrell said, it was a gamble not knowing how long he'd be able to run before it got dark.
Back behind them, Ken Schrader just went around Kyle Petty on the outside and has taken over the 7th position.
There are 234 laps to go. It is Rusty Wallace in front of the Haynes 500. Jeff Gordon running second. And here is Rusty Wallace putting a lap on the number 90 car of Mike Wallace. He is 5 laps down in 28th position. Gordon second. Musgrave third, then Mark Martin and Darrell Waltrip. We'll be right back.
Ought to do an interval between the 24 and 2. I'm not sure that 24 car ain't gaining.
Okay. I think Rusty's cooling it right now.
Don't look to me like that 24 car is gaining.
Oh, he's coming up.
Yeah. At the conclusion of 274 out of hopefully 500 laps in the Haynes 500 at Martinsville. We are riding with our leader, Rusty Wallace, whose lead is shrinking because Jeff Gordon and Ted Musgrave are both catching up to him.
Looks like both of those cars are gaining just a tick on Rusty Wallace. And during the break, I was told Rusty Wallace is not eligible for the Gatorade money. So Darrell Waltrip, old DW, walked off with another $10,000 today.
Yep.
He'll make his owner awfully proud of him when he goes in tomorrow.
There's third place Ted Musgrave. Rusty, because he is leading here today, has now led at least one lap in all 4 short track races held this year. 1.2 seconds separate first and second. Wallace and Gordon.
I think Rusty might have just been cooling it just a moment ago, because it looks like right now that he's pulling away from the 24 car.
John, what's the deal?
Well, I just talked to Robin Pemberton, and he said, yeah, Rusty's just been kind of cooling it. You know, the track conditions are not ideal. They don't want to make a mistake, don't want to crash the car. Rusty was just taking it kind of easy, but just a moment ago, they showed the interval to Robin. He got on the radio. I believe he told Rusty, just kind of close it in. You might want to pick it up a little bit.
You saw Dale Earnhardt go another lap down. He's still back in 30th position.
At 1.97 of a second just in a couple of laps.
Here's a battle for position between Kyle Petty and Robert Presley for 9th.
Kyle's car just getting so loose, he just can't race these fellas. We see that his tachometer has a line in it.
Waltrip continues to slide back. He's now 7th. That was Ken Schrader who just passed him. So Waltrip's gamble did not pay off.
Nope. Those, just tires, 500ths of a second maybe when they're pretty new, and then 1000ths of a second a lap, and more before long it really catches up to you.
Jerry, what's the story on Darrell Waltrip?
Well, Darrell took a calculated risk. He said right when the red flag came out, his car had gotten very tight in the turns, but when the rains came and washed the rubber off the track was very loose in the beginning. His car ran awfully well, so he opted not to come in and pit. He is currently being shown now in 7th place. Now, the big concern in the Western Auto pits is how far can he go on fuel? And by their calculations, he'll have to pit sometime in the next 22 to 25 laps. Whereas Rusty and the rest, another 70 laps or so before they'll need another stop.
So it could hurt him even more if we don't get a caution between now and then. Here's Bill Elliott and Jeremy Mayfield with Dick Trickle, Dave Marcus, Lake Speed, and Ward Burton.
But the two battling for position are Bill Elliott and Jeremy Mayfield. They're battling for 12th and 13th. Elliott has the 12th position. Jeremy Mayfield in the RCA car number 98 is 13th. And here comes Rusty Wallace about to put a lap on.
Rusty has a lot of traffic to go through, and that could mean that Rusty and Musgrave will be able to close in on him.
But they're going to have to go through that traffic too.
Right. It all depends on how they catch it.
Rusty Wallace's car, when he goes on the outside down in turn 1, the right rear bottoms out fairly significant. Now he closes up on the back bumper of Lake Speed.
Mayfield is a lap down. 12 cars now on the lead lap.
Through that same traffic. He's got two cars side by side there, Morgan Shepherd and Mayfield. Now he gets on the inside of Mayfield, car number 98. Up there pretty good.
Rusty Wallace been able to get by at Lake Speed, but now he has Ward Burton in front of him. Ward moves over, lets Rusty go ahead. Morgan moves over to let Jeff Gordon go by.
Rusty and Ward, I think maybe they had some contact down there. Rusty now to the outside of Dave Marcus.
And that's Dick Trickle in the 15, the Ford Quality Care car, who was involved in that 5th lap accident with Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt, and a host of others.
Yes. Well, Rusty has been able to clear a lot of that traffic now, but Jeff has 5 more cars to go around. The next car that Rusty Wallace will be lapping is Bill Elliott.
And boy, that's a big sigh of relief for Rusty and his crew. They got through that. Of course, he's got some other traffic in front of him, but right now it's much clearer than Jeff Gordon has.
There we see the 16 and 6 teammates, but they're racing for position right now, racing for that 3rd spot.
You see how dark it's getting. The lights are very visible. And Waltrip is slowing further. Is he out of gas?
Could be. Could be, but...
Jerry, what's the story?
Apparently the calculations were not correct. Darrell radioed that it's sputtering. I think we're out of gas, and so he will come down pit road under the green, and they will change 2 right side tires only under this green flag pit stop and fill it up with fuel. What a tough break for an 11-time winner here at Martinsville Speedway. The Western Auto car comes in. It is sputtering, not running very well, and now they put the fuel cans in, change right side tires. What a tough break for DW.
Well, that's a rare miscalculation for he and his crew. you know, he's told us on the radio, told Benny on the radio, said, well, don't think this thing can go green too long, it'll get dark. Well, it didn't get dark. I don't think anybody expected it to run this far green the way that the track was.
Right.
I think they all thought that, you know, we'll have some cautions, eat up some time, but it hasn't done that. Everybody's driven very carefully out there. We've gone a long time now without, well, in fact, we haven't had a caution since the green was waved again.
Yep.
We see that Rusty Wallace has put Joe Nemechek in the 87, the Burger King car, and Bill Elliott in the McDonald's car, both a lap down.
Now just 9 cars remain on the lead lap, and the last car on the lead lap is Kyle Petty, who isn't too far ahead of Rusty Wallace. He has Eldon Sawyer between them.
And then we see Bill Elliott on the inside of Joe Nemechek. That's 4th position, the 10th spot.
Darrell Waltrip went a lap down. He's not far out in front of Rusty Wallace, almost 2 laps down, but he's technically, oh, he's got a spin. But is there a caution?
Yes, there's going to be a caution
now, yeah.
And Rusty and Bill Elliott are trying to race back to the line, and I think that Rusty won the race.
Rusty was almost involved in that.
He was.
Really close call for Rusty.
And what a tough break for Darrell Waltrip. What, just 5 more laps?
Yep, that's right. The caution comes out on lap 296.
Okay, now, do the leaders pit? Yeah.
Good question. Here they come.
Wallace is coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not going to stay out there and take a chance like Darrell did.
Chip Gordon's in. We see Mark Martin still driving down to his pit in their triple split. Cleaning the windshields on these cars. Right sides are on.
Clean on the right side. Here's John Kernan.
A problem with the leverage on the left front tire. They got it broke. They had to change it, so now it has thrown a kink into Rusty's tire change. 4 tires. He's down and away, but Jeff Gordon will beat him out. 24.6, 21.4 for Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin is still in as they head down. 21.5 for Mark Martin as Jeff Gordon beat him out, won the race off of pit road.
Gordon turning in the best pit stop by just a 10th of a second over Mark Martin. Well, let's show you what happened to cause the caution.
Some contact between Ricky Craven in the 41 car and Robert Presley. Presley goes around, he nails the gas, tries to do a 360, but he goes up and smacks the outside wall instead.
And Rusty was very lucky. He had Eldon Sawyer right beside him, but somehow got through unscathed.
Here we see it again as Presley gets tapped from the rear by Ricky Craven, both of those rookie drivers this year.
Here's John Kernan.
Well, the luggage did not break. Actually, you can see the problem right here on that left front, the left side tires. A jammed lug nut. What is this? The second time we've seen that happen today, probably about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen it in the last few weeks. Cost Rusty probably 6.5, 7 seconds here in the pits.
Allowing him, what do we have?
Whoa, a gas can, a catch can in the 43 car, and I saw him dragging his crewman down pit road, and the guy finally let go, but evidently he was trying to catch that catch can.
Under caution here at Martinsville in the Haynes 500. We'll take a break and be right back.
.43 cars, black flag.
Where is that? Okay.
They black flagged the 4th. Back up about 2 inches there, boob. Thank you.
Hey guys, remember I told you about the problem with the left front on Jeff Gordon's car? This last pit stop, they had to lift up the left side to get the jack under it. So, I mean, you'd know more about what that's.
That's making the car tight.
Yeah. What I'm wondering though is, I mean, if they're having to lift it up, you know where they take the little measurement for the front air dam?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Right now though, they're trying to convince NASCAR that it's too dark and they would like to have rain though.
Too what?
Too dark.
And they'd like to have rain right now too. The 2014.
Okay. Even between us and baseball, huh?
What'd you say, Chevy?
.302 laps completed in the Haynes 500 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. We are under caution because of a spin down in turn 4 involving Robert Presley and others, and Rusty drove through it and just barely got through without any damage. Here it is from his in-car camera. Wow.
He could see nothing.
No, he couldn't. He didn't know for a little bit whether he was going to hit anything or not.
He had no idea whether he had made the right move. The smoke from Presley's tires that they had to drive through.
Presley had his foot on the gas trying to do that 360 without hitting the wall, and boy, it did create a lot of smoke.
It's just about 7 o'clock Eastern time, and for those of you tuning in for SportsCenter, we will have it on right after the conclusion of this race. Now, we've got a little less than 200 laps to go. Needless to say, we are not going to get the entire 500 lap distance in. We're going to run a few more, though, and the green flag is about to come out with Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Ted Musgrave, and Dale Jarrett, the top 5.
And Darrell Waltrip trying to get his lap back. He's down on the inside. He's had one of the fastest cars here today when he was equal with them as far as tires are concerned, and now he is. Let's see if he can get his lap back.
Right now, Rusty Wallace has to pick one of them. Which one is he going to pick? Is he going to bet on Darrell Waltrip? He is right now. He said, okay, Darrell's going to beat Jeff. I'm going to follow him.
Wallace pulls to the inside of Gordon. Waltrip has his lap back. Jeff with just an inch or two lead over Wallace at the line.
Darrell needs a caution now for it to do a whole lot of good.
Tremendous battle for the lead. Rusty is in the lead now.
But Jeff Gordon led this race, so that means he's led every Winston Cup race this year in that 24 car.
Quite a remarkable beginning of the season for Jeff Gordon.
And Rusty Wallace already pulled the car from Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin right back there in third place. The Valvoline car is in third place.
that they possibly have now.
We've only got to worry about the brakes lasting another 40 or 50 laps, not 500 laps now.
With 188 laps to go, here's a Fram field summary. 9 cars on the lead lap.
And Ricky Rudd spins coming off of turn 4.
And Sterling Marlin spins behind him. Waltrip is apparently going to get his lap back if he can maneuver his way through the 2 spun cars sitting just off of turn number 4. And he will indeed get the lap back. And there he is.
Big break. Break he needed.
Let's watch again. There's Ricky Rudd, the 10 car, the tied ride. That's who's going to some contact with the 16 car. Around goes Ricky Rudd. Now that's number 10. Looks like 11, but he's wiped out part of the 10, and we see Sterling Marlin, as Bob said, spin behind them.
Rudd is not on the lead lap. He's a lap down in 10th position.
He's now 2 laps down.
Right.
Or maybe 3 right now.
About to go the 3rd lap down. That's right. Apparently couldn't get the car fired.
So the field once again is under caution because of a spin. Darrell Waltrip has his lap back now in 9th position, and he will probably come in, don't you think, and get some fresh tires? He has nothing to lose. Right?
Nothing to lose, really. Well, he stayed out there,
stayed
though.
out.
But he would have nothing to lose other than the cost of a set of tires.
That's
which
right.
He's the owner, so maybe that makes a difference.
That could be.
Ricky Rudd finally has his car moving, going in the right direction. He's headed towards the pits.
Yeah, you can see the left side of his 0 is totally torn away, so the car looks like number 11.
And we see they're jacking the car up, so evidently whatever problem he had that he sit there so long, the transmission is like it's jammed in gear or something.
Here's Jerry Punch.
As we wait on Darrell Waltrip to come down pit road, Ricky Rudd's car is stuck in 1st gear. That's why they were jacking the car up and trying to get underneath it to get it out of 1st gear and get it into 4th gear. Meanwhile, here is Darrell Waltrip in the pits. Auto Chevrolet now having gotten his lap back. He will get fresh right side tires. They will not make a left side tire change. No chassis adjustment. Right side tires. He is ready to go for the final whatever 40 or 50 laps they predict down here in the pits. Bob.
Okay, so we have another contender getting his lap back, and this is how it all developed.
Ricky Rudd gets tapped from the rear by Ted Musgrave.
Spinning around. Sterling Marlin also spinning around. The caution comes out, and Waltrip gets his lap back. And we'll be right back. Yes, he is.
Probably get those left side tires.
Gonna get left sides now.
Yeah.
Okay. One to go.
One to go.
Yeah. Okay.
He's trying to fix his helmet. See, he's jamming his helmet. He's trying to do whatever.
Mm-hmm. Less than a lap has been run under green. Wallace continues up front. Behind him, Gordon, Mark Martin, Ted Musgrave, and Dale Jarrett. A reminder once again that SportsCenter will be up next at the conclusion of this race. It's up to NASCAR now to decide when it gets too dark to call it. We've still got 180 laps left in the race.
There comes Darrell Waltrip right behind Kyle Petty. 4 fresh tires.
And Kyle Petty also came in and got 4 fresh tires during this caution. So we'll see where that leaves both of them. It leaves them in a bunch of traffic for one thing. Don't know if they'll be able to use those tires to good advantage and be able to work up towards the front.
Brett Bodine isn't having a bad run here today, is he?
No, he's having a good run. The only reason he's a lap down is the fact that he had an unscheduled pit stop. He got a fender knocked in on a tire way back early in the race. But other than that, he has run very well.
There are Petty and Waltrip battling for position. Darrell to the inside of Kyle. Darrell up to 8th position. Ted Musgrave, meanwhile, moves to 3rd, passing his teammate Mark Martin.
Yeah, Mark just let him go once he got a nose up there and said, okay, go ahead, buddy. You might have a faster race car than me.
All right, Jerry, what have you learned regarding how much longer we may go in this event?
We have just been told that NASCAR is going to give the teams a 10-lap warning when they intend to throw the checkered flag in 10 laps. They haven't given that warning yet. As you watch Darrell Waltrip now making a move inside of Bobby Hamilton, but NASCAR will give the team a 10-lap warning prior to conclusion and throwing the checkered flag. Bob.
Darrell Waltrip moves to 7th position and comes up on now Ken Schrader. Meanwhile, Ted Musgrave has caught Jeff Gordon.
Yes, he has. He is really working on him, Bob. I don't know. Now he gets a good run coming off the turn. He's got a fender up there. He might be able to make the pass.
Musgrave. Wow. Gets a little loose in the corner.
Boy, the Fords are trying to come back with a vengeance here today.
But they sure are. They're 1st, 2nd, and 4th.
5th.
4th and 5th.
Yes, 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th.
Only Jeff Gordon is a Chevy in the top 5.
Now, let's see if Musgrave can do anything with Rusty Wallace. Can he catch that 2 car?
Bill Weber has more on this spectacular run by Musgrave.
We'll give more credit to the pit crew once again. Last time, earlier in the race, actually, Ted had been loose, so they tightened up the car. Then it got tight. On this last pit stop, they adjusted the track car once again, and Ted continues his charge to the front. And Howard Comstock isn't saying much. He's a very quiet gentleman anyway, but he is smiling and giving a lot of credit to his team and his driver.
The Family Channel Ford is in 2nd position and catching Rusty Wallace.
He is moving closer.
1 second separate him now.
And we see that Musgrave has driven away from Jeff Gordon.
And now Gordon has his hands full of Mark Martin.
Yes, he does have.
And Dale Jarrett right behind Mark Martin. There's Jarrett in the 28 car.
And a good run for Dale today. Remind you again, if you're tuning in for SportsCenter, you will see it at the conclusion of our event. We've had rain on and off all day here. Delayed the start. We had a long rain delay in the middle, and now we've completed just 332 of 500 laps. It will not go the distance. We do not know at this point how long it will go. NASCAR will give the drivers a 10-lap warning to the checkered flag. Wallace leads, Musgrave is 2nd, then Gordon, Martin, Jarrett, Schrader.
We see Dale Jarrett. Ned, did he change an engine this morning?
Yeah, they did. Robbie Yates' team changed engines this morning. They changed yesterday after their morning practice, but they found something this morning they didn't like, so they just said they'd rather be safe than sorry, so they put a different engine in this morning. That's not uncommon for the Rocky H team. We've seen them do that over the years where they don't take chances.
Yeah, they will change engines in that car at the drop of a hat.
Yes, sir.
And Musgrave looks like he's getting yet 0.8 of a second. So he's closing in on Rusty Wallace ever so slowly. And we're lap 335 right now. I would bet that 350 is the magic number. I would bet 350 laps is going to be the end.
You just think another 15 laps?
Yes,
They've
sir.
still got half hour of daylight.
Well,
look at Darrell Waltrip, guys. He has come from back in the pack and is catching the 6th place car of Ken Schrader. Right there with those new tires on, he is on a tear.
Here he comes, looking at blow by that 25 car. Oh, DW looking good.
And coming in on Jarrett.
Well, those tires make a difference, make a world of difference. He found that out.
Yeah.
The other way, the hard way, he found out.
And I didn't even go over there and work on that car this week. He's running so well.
Just imagine, though, what could have happened had he waited just 4 or 5 more laps and caught that caution to make the pit stop.
Now, Mark Martin has dropped back a little bit from Jeff Gordon. A few laps ago, he was up there working on him, but now DW moves in on Jarrett as Jarrett moves in on Martin.
There's Darrell in 6th place.
He last won this race in 1989. He last won here at this racetrack in the fall race of '89. And Musgrave is within 3-4 car lengths.
He's there.
And he's to the point that Rusty Wallace knows he's there. Yeah. And that's the most important part.
Ted Musgrave's best finish this year has been a 3rd at Darlington. He is looking for his best career finish, and he may be in a position to win this thing.
That's right. 3rd is the best he's ever finished in the Winston Cup race. Never has won one, but he's right on the back bumper of Rusty Wallace.
DW won by Dale Jarrett.
And Waltrip picks off another one. Darrell is up to 5th. We have a spin in the middle of turn 3.
Uh-oh. And he's right in the middle of the racetrack.
Here come the leaders. One goes on the inside, the other on the outside. No caution yet.
And they still,
oh, boy, he's about to pull right out in front of a bunch of cars. He's going, but no caution.
And that cost Musgrave dearly.
Oh, yeah, he backed off and went on the outside, and now he's got to come back and gain all that distance. Don't know how long he has to do it. They still haven't given that 10-lap mark yet.
Rusty goes to the inside of Hut Strickland and puts Strickland between himself and 2nd place Musgrave now. Watch on the right.
That's the 40 car right there, and Steve Grissom, the 29 car, and just a little bit of a bump from Elton Sawyer in the 27.
They were jammed up in the turn, sort of a chain reaction type of a deal.
And everybody missed him. But he started to pull away, and it was close for some. Man. All right, there now is the interval between 1st and 2nd as Darrell Waltrip comes to 4th.
Man, what a charge Waltrip is making.
This kind of reminds you of Daytona and Dale Earnhardt.
It's just a shame this thing couldn't be 500 laps because Darrell Waltrip could win this thing, Ned.
Yes, sir. He's running faster than the leaders right now. But he's got a lot of distance. I'm afraid he's got too much distance to make up now. Yeah. But he's got a good chance to get up to 3rd.
Almost a full straightaway between Rusty and Waltrip.
Signal now.
10 laps to go.
I missed it by 5. Yep. It's going to be like 3:55, and it's over. We're at 3:45 right now.
With the lead over Ted Musgrave. Here are Schrader and Jarrett, and they're still racing with each other. They have nearly all afternoon.
Well, Schrader got by Jarrett when Jarrett slowed for that spin up there in turns 3 and 4. And now he's trying to get that position back.
Jarrett's on the inside of Schrader. Looks like he may
Tough to get.
And a spin, a crash down to turn 3 and 4. And some heavy damage to Ward Burton's car, and that will bring the caution flag out.
Burton going the wrong way on the racetrack in turn 3 as Rusty and everybody else comes below him to the caution flag. Pace car out on the racetrack at lap 349.
And Rusty Wallace ran another lap. We can see the radiator is broken into the Hardy's Chevrolet. Steam coming out.
Well, it closes up the field and means that there isn't the separation between Darrell and Rusty that there was, but can Rusty hold him off? We'll be back for the closing laps in a moment. Oh, we passed the second middles. Okay. Wait a minute, I gotta find him. Okay. Okay. Do we get the... All right. So we're going to have a...
And the cars start nose to tail with less than 10 laps to go. The lap cars are not a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give one to go this time.
Which means we'll have, what, just 2 laps to go?
2 laps to go. 2-lap shootout. Man. Are we going to get one to go? No? Yep,
Yes,
yep,
yes,
yep,
yes,
yep.
yes.
Kyle Petty's in the pits.
Look at Ward Burton's brakes.
Wow.
They're going to put some new tires on Kyle's car. No, they're not going to. They backed out.
Okay.
What about the game?
Yeah, the game's supposed to start 7:30, isn't it?
Here we go.
I'm sorry. The green has just come out. It's a shootout to the finish. Rusty Wallace with a good start.
He will get the white flag next time by. He had a great restart. And we see Darrell Waltrip in 3rd place.
I don't think it'd be 2 laps to go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Apparently.
Yep. 2 to go. ESPN Sports Center coming up in just a moment. Baseball tonight will be seen at midnight tonight. Of course, at 8 o'clock we have the baseball game coming on. Rusty Wallace comes off of corner number 4, looking for the white flag. There's 1 lap to go.
Here's the race. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Musgrave, Jeff Gordon, and Darrell Waltrip.
And look at Waltrip put the heat on Jeff Gordon for 3rd. Wallace, meanwhile, is in turn number 3. He's off the corner. And Rusty Wallace wins. Musgrave, Gordon, Waltrip, and Mark Martin are the top 5. Rusty Wallace wins his 3rd straight here at Martinsville, his 4th win in the last 5 events at this half-mile facility.
Wow.
Wallace, the only driver to post 4 top 5 finishes in the 4 spring short track races. And the Chevy win streak is over.
Rusty Wallace has 1-1 for the Ford camp.
Receiving the congratulations of his pit crew as he comes down the pit road. Headed for victory lane on a very late afternoon, early evening in Martinsville.
There he comes.
Here's Dr. Jerry Punch in victory lane.
A big smile from Rusty. Rusty, congratulations. The Chevrolet win streak is over.
Well, thanks a lot. I mean, I really appreciate it. The car really ran great today. I'd like to thank Miller and Fleetwood RVs, Mobile, Bosch, all of them. This Ford really ran great today, and I was real happy with it. I'm taking it easy there, and right there at the end, almost got too easy. I looked in the mirror, and Teddy was right on my rear end, so I had to step it up. The guys, I lost all the radios. They quit working, and then I heard Robin say 3 to go, and I said, what? I can't believe we're going to end this thing this quick, but I really had a real hot ride today. I just like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank my car owner, Roger Penske, and congratulate them on the race up at Nazareth today. Great one. We got one down here, too, so it's a great weekend.
Roger Penske gets 2 in one day in IndyCar and Winston Cup stock cars, Bob.
All right, Rusty Wallace wins here at Martinsville, and let's take a look at how they finished in this race, which was supposed to begin at 12 noon, but it was delayed, and here it is almost 7:30, and we're just now finishing the event. But it was a great race, and Rusty comes out on top.
And we see Bobby Labonte spun on the first lap, got a lap down and finished 1 lap down.
Dale Earnhardt was able to move up 1 position from where he ran most of the race, Ned, so a few more points.
Yeah, because Ricky Rudd had his problem, and that's the only one that he moved up from when Ricky had to go behind the wall for so long.
And unofficially, Sterling Marlin is now only 8 points behind Dale Earnhardt in the quest for the Cup standings. There you see only 2 drivers officially dropped out of this race, and we completed 356 of the 500 when the checkered flag dropped and darkness moved in. Sports Center is coming up in just a moment, so please stay with us. ESPN Speed World presentation of the Haynes 500 has been brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. We'll see you next Sunday at 1 o'clock from Talladega. Rusty Wallace wins here at Martinsville. This is Bob Jenkins. Now to Sports Center. What was that all about? What's that all about? That
about the spin.
Don't you remember?
Yeah. Go, Bill.
Yeah, back when we told you that Ted wanted the 10 and the 11 out of the way, and they finally moved, and then before he spun them, he had said, you know, I'm going to give him a few laps, and then it's, you know, here we go. And I was walking down here, and I saw Bill just blast by, and they told me as soon as I got here that allegedly he punched him, and Ted got into a room, and you know,
boys will be boys. Okay. 15 seconds, huh? Okay. The spring short track season coming to a close here today at the half mile at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, the NASCAR Winston Cup Haynes 500. We now move ahead in our coverage. Yeah. Okay, we're back to racing from the red. Okay, okay. Okay. So we're coming back after the red flag, huh? Okay. Okay, I got you. Okay. It's been a day of rain, off and on rain, here at Martinsville Speedway. The race was delayed because of rain and also interrupted by rain. This is the final event of the short track season for 1995 as far as the spring is concerned. Now, what was I going to say?
I don't have a clue.
Huh. I totally lost my train of thought there. I had something that... Oh, okay. Okay, here we go again. It has been a day of off and on rain here at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. The race was delayed. The start of it was delayed because of rain and also interrupted by rain. This is the final event of the spring short track season in the 1995 NASCAR Winston Cup schedule. Rusty Wallace has won 3 of the last 4 events here at this half-mile facility and is trying for 3 straight here today. We now resume our coverage after this message. Let me do that again, please. Yes. Okay. It has been a day of off and on rain here at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. The start of the race was delayed. Yeah. It has been a day of off and on rain here at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. The start of the race was delayed because of precipitation, and there was an interruption in the middle. This, by the way, is the final short track race of the spring NASCAR Winston Cup season. Rusty Wallace is going for his 3rd consecutive win here. He has won 3 of the last 4 events at this half-mile facility. We'll rejoin our coverage in just a moment. That's it? Goodbye. What do we do about hotel rooms? I guess we see Rick, huh? Thanks. Okay, what do we do